Hi, good morning, everyone. Welcome to our webinar today. We're glad you could all join us. My name is Laura Walker. I'm the Director of ITSM Advocacy at Stratacom. I'll be your host today, along with Rod Schmidt from EasyVista. We've put this demonstration together today to give you a good option for migrating from Cherwell software. We'll talk about that a little bit further in. A couple of housekeeping items as people are still joining. We will be recording today's session, so if you'd like to rewatch or share with your team, we'll make the recording available afterward. We'd also like to encourage you to add questions along the way. There's a chat feature and a Q&A feature on Microsoft Teams here. Feel free to put those in, and we will be addressing questions along the way, answering some of them in the chat, interrupting our presenters today with questions. So please feel free to put those in. If you could advance the slide, Rod. So the host today is Stratacom. We are a partner of EasyVista. We were founded in 1997, and we've always done IT service management consulting, aligning with what we feel are the best software vendors in the market, which would today include EasyVista as one of the more modern platforms. Got a large staff of senior consultants located across the United States. We've been doing this for a very long time. We've got proven methodology, over decades of experience. All US-based consultants know offshoring. So if you're unfamiliar with Stratacom, I hope that gives you a real quick overview of who we are. Next slide, Rod. I'd like to introduce our presenters for today. Again, my name is Laura Walker. I'll be your host. We've got Todd Russell, solution consultant from EasyVista. We'll be walking you through today's demonstration. David Portillo, head of Atlassian Alliances and Partnerships in North America. And my co-host is Rod Schmidt, an account manager with EasyVista. With that, I'd like to turn over to Rod to give you an overview of EasyVista as a corporation before we dig into the demo today.
Yep, thank you, Laura. Great introduction there. Again, Rod Schmidt, account manager, EasyVista. Just a quick little background for anyone for the Cherwell. I worked with Cherwell for over 7 years. Before that, in a short time with Avanti, with Atlassian for a short period of time, and even back in the old days, back at BMC. So extensive background with ITSM. Todd Russell, who'll be doing a majority of the speaking today in the demo, was an SE with me in many of those companies. I've actually worked with Todd for over 20 years, so we've got quite a strong background in ITSM there. So what I'd like to go through today, I'm going to cover some just the basics. Give me 5 minutes at the very beginning to cover the platform, how we license, a couple of user stories, that kind of thing, and we'll jump right into the demo. We'll kind of watch the chat. If you got questions, feel free to interrupt at any point. You know, Todd does these demos every day, all day. So he likes the questions, but it might be easier if you put the question into chat, and then we'll interrupt at the appropriate time. And I'm used to doing that with Todd a lot. I interrupt him all the time. And then we'll do some follow-up at the end. If you need individual demos, follow-up questions, whatever you'd like to do, just work through Laura for that. The mandatory company slide. I always hate these, but your key thing is well-established organization. EasyVista is a very stable company. We've been around for 18 plus years. Great renewal rate. If you don't believe us, talk to Gartner. One of the reasons I joined EasyVista was because of this high 4.9 Gartner Peer Insight Report rating. You can see we're higher than Cherwell, ServiceNow, Fresh Service Matrix 42. Customer feedback. To me, Cherwell was a very customer-centric organization. I need to work for that type of company. It's a small world, and I always want to make sure that the customers are well taken care of, and you got a solid product. And with EasyVista, you really get both. We're a pretty disruptive force in the marketplace right now. Todd and I are quite busy with demos and things like that because we give you a platform. A lot of vendors will charge for each item. Reporting, you wanted reporting? Oh, that's an extra product SKU. You want asset management? Even Cherwell did that. You want HR? Oh, that's an extra product, extra charge. We don't do that here at EasyVista. Our platform is all encompassing. If you look at the upper left-hand corner here, if you just want ITSM, ITIL-based processes, you can have that very simple. Just go with that for phase one. I'll talk about an account in a minute. Phase one was ITSM. But we also give you a full life cycle asset management product within this platform. I've had people purchase the product for asset, justify it there, bring ITSM later in a later phase. And then unlike Avanti does or Cherwell did, we do give you project portfolio management, HR, facilities built into the product, no extra charge. And that always helps to justify it, no question. Along other things in the platform, and these are all in the platform in the that we'll propose here. We give you remote access. When I worked with Cherwell, even Avanti, I'd say, why don't you bring in Bomgar for that piece? We work well with that. You can look at TeamViewer. Don't have to do that with our platform built in. It's the old Goverlin product that we've now renamed to Reach. Todd's going to show you how the integration there is important. I always tell, if you work in an ITSM platform or product, you better integrate with a lot of tools. And it always works pretty well, but sometimes, new releases come out and integration breaks. That used to happen with Bomgar all the time. Doesn't happen when you're all built into the same platform. And you're going to see an audit trail that Reach gives you that goes back into the ticket itself that is phenomenal. We have an orchestration tool, EV Orchestrate, that allows you to set up very easily automation. And just like in Cherwell, no code, low code, you don't need a team of Java developers to do that. Very strong product there. Give you some discovery in the base product. We also give you monitoring. And at this point, you're probably going, boy, we don't need all that. Well, FIA in Pennsylvania, it was a Cherwell replacement. Phase 1 was the ITSM. Phase 2, they're going to use our monitoring portion to actually monitor their network infrastructure, and that helped them justify the product. And we see that quite often where people will use a multiple product replacement to really justify the move over to the EasyVista platform. And then that also allows you to fix things quicker and easier and resolve problems much in a shorter period of time, obviously. So and then on how we license, we have a very flexible licensing model, much like you're familiar with Cherwell Concurrent. Shared license and no license for end users coming in through the portal. Approvers, no license required. You want to create a dashboard report, no license required. Only if the agent is actually modifying or manipulating a ticket, then there is a license required for that. Two key things on this slide that really demonstrate our customer-centric culture here at EasyVista. We'll allow you to go 50% over on your license account for short periods of time, no charge. I keep an eye on that. Let's say you've got 50 licenses, but you got a peak period in August or something, and you go to 75. No charge. You're allowed to do that. The product doesn't lock you out on 51. You can go all the way up to 75 licenses, no charge. Now, if you do it for 6 months, I'm probably going to give you a call, but for short periods of time, no problem at all. Very customer-centric issue there. We also give you 6 different environments. I remember at Cherwell, we would charge for environments 3, 4, anything beyond that. We give you a lot of test environments and production to really allow you to fully test out the product and build some great different instances there. So, and Greg, are you on? Do you want to jump in and just talk about the migration tool that Stratacom has?
Yeah, no, I am. Yeah, thanks, Rod. So
Yeah.
yeah, we built basically a migration tool to migrate all of our customers' data from Cherwell to EasyVista, and it just uses REST API calls, and we're often able to grab subsets of data if you want to do all of your historical data, or if you want to grab. So a lot of people have requirements where they need to have the last year or the last 3 years. We can grab them by date. We can grab different business objects. You can pick and choose if you want to move incident request versus change. And we can also move that data into EasyVista as well and try to set it up in the existing data, or we can try and reference it another way so that you can kind of start fresh but still have access to the data if needed to. So lots of options to migrate your existing data from Cherwell to EasyVista.
Perfect. Thank you,
Be it,
Greg.
Rod?
Yep, no problem. You covered it. Thank you. Just one more point on the whole integration and relationship with Stratacom. When I worked with Cherwell, Stratacom was my go-to partner. My most successful implementations of the Cherwell product were done by Stratacom consistently. So we're really excited to have them over at EasyVista now to really create that same type of successful environment here at EasyVista. So a great partner to work with there. You can send me the $20 later there for saying that, Laura. A
I
couple,
got to do that, huh? Thanks.
yeah, a couple quick stories here. FIA, share replacement, just mentioned that one. Why? Platform. They love the platform approach, and they're replacing a number of products. They told me the implementation was the most successful implementation they've ever had in any software product ever, period. They got increased usage of the portal way beyond what they had with Cherwell. So a lot of times these aren't just replacements. The word to use is transformation, because you can actually transform things to a better, more up-to-date environment like FIA did. Collegia, same thing, Cherwell replacement. They helped justify it by replacing Bomgar. They're looking at doing HR case management in phase 3, I think it is. They've really laid out some phenomenal stories there to really show what a great replacement and what a great transformation it is. Reitsman's up in Canada, retailer, again, Cherwell, Bomgar replacement, love the platform, and it really does separate us from, and they're doing facilities too there at Reitsman, separates us from the competition. Last slide, and I'll just have Todd take over and know what you want to get to. Why are we different? Very low total cost of ownership because of what we've been talking about already, the platform. And the low code, no code, we mentioned that. The fact you get HR facilities all included. But the last thing I want to cover on this slide is we develop a true partnership. Very customer centric. You'll be assigned not just an account manager, you'll be assigned a customer success manager and a TAM, technical account manager. They'll do a regular cadence of meetings with you to discuss maturity levels. Maybe you're not using our AI properly. Let's talk about that. Let's talk about the virtual agent, that type of thing. We'll make sure. Do you want to look at HR? Do you want to look at facilities? We'll make sure in a regular cadence of meetings so you're getting full value out of the product. So, any questions on some of the basics there? Okay. All right, with that, Todd, I am going to turn the show over to you, and thank you.
All right, so hopefully everybody can see my screen.
Yes.
Perfect. So I'm going to go ahead and get started in the self-service portal. So the EasyVista, obviously includes many different ways for your end users to interact with the system. The self-service portal being one of those ways. We do fully support email integrations with email listeners where we can parse through tickets and actually try to utilize some of the internal AI to categorize and really deliver those tickets to the appropriate groups in which they need to go to. I can also use the portal itself, which in this case, and like you had with inside of Cherwell, the portal itself is completely configurable. However, inside of EasyVista, we actually use EasyVista service apps to design and build our portals. So they're all built in HTML5, which allows you to do a lot more with the portals themselves, no more pixel-based, trying to line things up so that things will actually align on the screens when you show them, clicking on the different buttons so you can see how they're going to look for mobile devices and things like that. So it's definitely the ability to do things is way above and beyond what you've had in the past. I can actually even embed videos into the portals themselves. I usually will show a portal that we created during a proof of concept, but I don't have access to it this morning. They're actually doing something with that system. But it actually has mountain biking and parasailing and all kinds of other things inside of the portal itself. Again, completely configurable. It can be based off of known users. So in this particular case, I'm logged in as a user named Emma. So I can actually see information about Emma. I can have account information, click links to contact IT, location for Emma, things like that. I can also fully support anonymous users, right? So while we could do that in the past with other tools, it was very cumbersome and never really seemed to work very well in my my experiences with it. So the other thing that I can do inside of EasyVista is I can actually support multiple domains. So if you have more than one Active Directory domain, we have no problem working with those different domains, not to be confused with the domains that we actually will utilize inside of the EasyVista platform itself. At simplest terms, I can have a search menu here where I can actually go in and do a search for email. I'll get my results back. You'll notice that I get knowledge-based results. I get request and incidents results. So I can actually go right into a new request or a new incident, or I could actually try to do some self-diagnostics around it based off of my knowledge-based articles, right? So very quickly, I can go into starting to do my own type of troubleshooting. Also, we can get into the just opening up an incident or opening up a service request by going into the service request catalog, or when I actually go and look for help, the way that the out-of-the-box workflows are designed, if I click on I need help inside of the EasyVista product, it's going to actually start to prompt me with some different questions, right? What do I need help with? So in this particular case, maybe I need some help around Office. And maybe I actually am looking for something in Outlook. Let's say I need to know how to add a signature to my Outlook page, right? Well, look at that. I actually have a tutorial on how to add a signature to my Outlook emails. So I can actually step through this, right? I've got screenshots, click here, click there. I can walk all the way through this, and when I get to the end, it's going to ask me if this resolved my ticket or resolved my issue. If it did, I can simply say yes. The system will actually log an incident, set it to resolved. If it doesn't, I can say no, and it'll go ahead and open up an incident and assign it to somebody in the mail group. Now, it will also keep track of what we call knowledge prerequisites, letting the technician who's going to work that ticket know that Emma has already walked through this particular document. Right, so maybe I don't want to represent this to Emma. I want to go a little bit more advanced in the troubleshooting. So I kind of like that that capabilities myself. If I wanted to request something, I do have the ability to go into I need something, and now I'm going to be presented with a card catalog. I can actually filter it based off of different categories or what I can call actually areas of the tool itself. So maybe I've got facilities in here, HR in here. Employee lifecycle management is one that I always like to show because employee onboarding, offboarding, and crossboarding or moves always seems to be one of the most popular things. So if I go ahead and I start a new request to onboard a new employee, I'm going to be presented with a questionnaire. EasyVista calls them questionnaires. Other people call them forms. I'm drawing a blank on what we actually call them in inside of Cherwell. Specifics forms, I believe, is what we call them. But I'm going to be presented with a questionnaire, and I have the ability to make the questionnaire either a single page or multiple pages. I can define how many questions I want on each page. And I do this because while we don't have a dedicated mobile app, we do fully support mobile browsers. So you can do any type of functionality inside of the EasyVista platform from a mobile device utilizing the mobile browser. So I can have this 3 pages so that I click on next as I'm filling it out. Or if I leave it 1 page on a mobile device, I'm going to have a big long scroll button and I'm going to have to scroll all the way down, and it becomes kind of a nuisance. So in this particular case, we'll go ahead and good old Rod is going to get a new job today. And you'll notice that these can be dynamic. Employee type, if I make him full-time, right, I get a manager and arrival. If I make Rod a trainee, I can go ahead and say an arrival date and departure date. Still have to give him a manager. So we'll go back, make him full-time. We'll let Rod report into Kevin, and we need him to start. Let's have him start on Friday, and we're going to move him out to Salt Lake City. Now, any mandatory field inside of this questionnaire is going to be designated with the little asterisk. right? So I have to fill that in order to progress on. If I don't, it's actually going to pop up a big red box stating that, hey, you didn't fill that in, go back and fill it in. But now I can actually start to fill out the profile for Rod as a new employee. So I can put him inside of a department. Then based off of that department, right, I could actually go ahead and select a hardware package. So we're going to go ahead and give him a IT package for sales, which consists of a ThinkPad, a headset, and an iPhone. But if I would have said, you know what, he needs the marketing package, he gets an external monitor as well, right? So I can actually have different packages based off of different criteria as people select through. Now I can also give him a job function. So let's go ahead today, and he's always thought he was a bigwig, so we'll make him the CIO. We'll go ahead and click next, and we'll get now to the point to where we get to start accessing or adding access for the different business systems in which Rod is going to need access for. So I can go ahead and say, let's go ahead and move him and give him some Salesforce. Maybe he wants to do some invoicing. I can put attachments, and we don't care what kind of attachments you want to put on here. You can put anything in here, video, screenshots, anything that's needed to help progress this ticket along can be in there. When I go ahead and click OK, it's going to go ahead and open up this particular request, bring me back to my home screen, and it should actually then give me a request number where I can go ahead and look at that as a technician inside of the tool. I can also utilize the virtual agent that is included at no extra charge for the system. And the beauty of the virtual agent is it fully ties into all of the back-end platform, right? So for instance, if I go in here and say, my iPhone screen is cracked, right? Not when I hit enter on this, not only is it going to take a look at information, right? It's going to go into the asset management database, the CMDB. It's going to look and see what kind of a phone I actually have. It's going to look at my cell phone policies, the company policies, and actually make recommendations based off of that information that it finds inside of the system. So in this particular case, it sees that I have an iPhone Pro 15. It is towards the end of its life cycle. Tells me when it was purchased, and it gives me the option of whether I want to fix that screen or do I want to repair it, right? So I can simply click on repair or change, and it's going to either start a process to acquire a new phone through all the approvals in that whole workflow, or repair it where it's going to move that workflow and run that through the environment. One other way that I'll show you real quickly that we can integrate with or have your customers interact with the service desk is through, oh, I'm struggling getting my Teams bot up here. Hang on. Oh, come on. I might have to actually do this and open this up in a new window, and I can bring that across. So now, I know everybody's talking about how we have a Teams bot and what all can you do with it. Here at EasyVista, we actually allow you to do quite a few things with it, right? So I can actually simply hit help, and it's going to give me information of what I can actually do. Now I can also say SAP log in issues. Right, and it's going to actually start to look for known errors, right? It's going to start to find information and possibly even start asking me questions back, right? Looking for error messages, symptoms, and things that I'm experiencing before I can actually get to a point to where it's going to give me some suggestions. It might show me some more knowledge base articles. But at the very end, I can actually have it go ahead and automatically create an incident for me, capturing all of the information from the Teams bot and putting it into the history of the ticket itself. Just real quickly before I do leave the portal, other things that you're going to see out here is when I go back to my home screen, right, I actually do have a marquee down here where I can actually put known issues. I can control those known issues from problems or changes. I can have a hamburger menu where I can actually have news, where I can put any type of information that I want inside of the system, and then the ability to actually filter down on different areas. I also have the ability to put a quick link or a widget here with with the statuses of our IT health, or in this particular case, I'm actually utilizing the EV Observe product to give me a quick chart of how my business services are running, so that any one of my users, maybe Emma's having an internet issue, right? Emma could have popped this open real quickly and see that, hey, the internet service is actually running fine. I've got a green check mark by it. So therefore, she knows that the service itself is up and running, and maybe it's a smaller issue or an issue for just her, and she would know then to open up an individual ticket. I'll take this as a quick moment to pause. Are there any questions so far?
I don't see that any have come in. Again, we've got the chat feature or a Q&A feature. Feel free to send in questions as you get them, but thanks for checking, Todd.
Yep. All right, so now we'll jump over into the technician side of the tool. So we'll go ahead and come in, and of course it's timed out, so I'll log back in. Now, another thing that you will notice is that everything that I've done today has been done through a web browser. We are a full web-based tool. We were designed as a web-based tool, built as a web-based tool. We will not ever talk about orange pills, blue pills. Everything is all just web-based, and that's the way it is. When you do come in, you're going to be driven to dashboards, and it is a role-based solution, which most of you are probably familiar with. So you can see that I can actually have many different roles inside of the tool. Currently, I'm logged in as William, and I am an administrator of the system. Because I am an administrator, I can see all of the ITIL-based processes or functions that would be available to the administrator around all of the different ITIL best practices. Now, I am also showing the domain for the whole company, right? I could actually pare that down, but what this is going to do, and this is probably one of the best ways to show this, if I go into all incidents as an administrator with the domain of whole company, as I start to scan through these, you're going to start to see I've got tickets in here that are from other countries that are actually in different languages, right? Now we can actually utilize domains in the EasyVista platform to separate sections or separate data from people. So if I only wanted to see people to see the data and the information from the United States, I can simply put them into a domain of the USA, right? Now when it refreshes, I can look all day long and everything that I have here is going to be in English. So this is one of the ways that we can actually segment or separate data to keep things apart. Because EasyVista is a global company, we actually, in our demo environments, because we all use the same demo system, we actually separate the domains by country. They could very easily be utilized to separate facilities from HR or HR from everybody, right? So I can definitely do that. Now, over here, I can always I'm looking at under my service operations at my incidents. Let's actually go down and look at our service requests first before we really dig into incidents. And you can see that when I actually brought Rod on as a new employee, utilizing the new employee workflow, I actually brought him in and the system automatically went ahead and created not only the parent ticket, but 3 child tickets as well. So if I wanted to take a look at any of these, I can double click on the numbers out here in front of them and drill down into it. So if I want to see what the parent ticket looks like, I can simply click on it. It's going to bring me into the ticket itself. You're going to see all of the information that I captured from the questionnaire itself, and I'm going to see any related information around that particular ticket, right? I can actually see the related service requests that were open for it, right? The package for the computer, the access for the different services. Also, I didn't select it, but because we know everybody is going to need an Active Directory account, we automatically add that in as one of the processes, right? Now, if I continue down the screen, right, I can get into where are we at in this particular ticket. The next thing I need to do is create the package. I also have to create the access. I have to create the account, access and badges all have to be created. And you can see that these are all being done in parallel. If I wanted to, I can click on my details, pop over here and look at that workflow. And unlike other tools that I've worked with in the past, I can very quickly and easily see where I'm at inside of this workflow based on the little red squared boxes, right? And so this is actually the workflow for a new employee onboarding. Now, if I were to go ahead and drill down into one of the child tickets, right? So let's go ahead and look at the packaging ticket, right? So this is where we're actually going to provision the equipment, right? This particular task or ticket has a workflow itself, right? So now I can actually see where we're actually at in that particular workflow as well. Now, it follows the same type of best practices, right? All of these tickets have to be resolved before I can close out the parent ticket. I can actually make these so that they are sequential or parallel. I can put approvals in at any given time that they're needed. I can completely build that workflow out or alter this workflow to meet the needs of the organization. Okay, any questions on that?
Not seeing anything coming in yet.
All right, I must be doing a great job of explaining things today. So
Absolutely.
let's go ahead and jump back into incidents. We'll go ahead and look at all of our incidents again. You can see that we've got some different data on the tickets. When we quick look at them, I can see the SLA information that's been assigned to it as we brought it in. If I wanted to add or change columns, I can go ahead and choose different columns. I can actually add filters to any of these. I can sort based on ascending or ascending. I can go ahead and put different filters on them. I can save filters, create filters, so I can slice and dice this data however I would want to, right? So we talked about how your end users can actually get into the system, how they can log a ticket, how they can create a ticket. So now let's take a couple minutes and talk about how a technician or a call taker or a first level, second level, third level help desk person can actually interact and create tickets as well. So first of all, right under incidents, I could actually always come in here, and when I go to the top, I could do something like Emma, and it's going to bring up Emma as an employee, where I could drill in and actually look at Emma's employee record, right? So I can see all of Emma's detailed information. I can see all of the equipment, all of the business services, incidents, service requests, knowledge prerequisites, right? So I did at one point in time show Emma a knowledge article. She may or may not have used it, probably did not, because I'm seeing it as a knowledge prerequisite. I can add other related items as well, right? So it is an object-based solution, so you can have objects linked together really however you would need them, but you can see that I can actually start to add different pieces and parts to the relationships for Emma as an employee itself, right? If I go down here, I can have contract delegate information, right? So she can be a delegate for somebody. I didn't mention this, but inside of the portal, we do fully support on behalf of, right? So I can go ahead and assign something on behalf of. Now, the beauty of the EasyVista platform, right, is, I went in, I typed Emma, and I got Emma as an employee. Well, you'll notice that I also have the ability to quickly go in and look at all of Emma's tickets, or I have the ability to create a new ticket for Emma, where I can go ahead and put a title in here, and it's going to go ahead and create a ticket for me, right? Also, I have the ability to do what we call slash commands. So if I click on slash here, you're going to see all of the different quick ticket options that I have available to me, right? So I could have a slash password reset, right? So I could very quickly grab a ticket and create a ticket for a password reset based off of my slash commands. Also, I have the ability over here to do a quick ticket. If I click on quick ticket, or excuse me, quick call, it's going to bring me directly into the questionnaire where I can go ahead and change my recipient. And let's go ahead and say it's Emma. And I can put Emma in here, so she is my recipient. And now I can start to fill it out. So maybe Emma is having a SAP, or let's go with the ERP system issues, right? And now you'll also notice that I have these little stars on here. This is actually leveraging the AI internal to the EasyVista platform so that I can start to do things like translate to different languages. I can rephrase my description. I can rephrase it professional or friendly. Because we really want to drive the adoption of using resolved incidents, requests, problems, changes for knowledge-based type articles, we want to make sure that you're utilizing the same type of language and architecture. So we're really starting to get into rephrase everything professional so that it reads the same as we search through the knowledge base. Furthermore, under my title up here, I can automatically come up and click on the AI, and it's going to look through my description and actually go ahead and give me a title for this. Also, I have my Pulse AI over here on the side. So if I look at this, and we refer to these over here on the side as contextual apps, flyouts, widgets, right? These are actually links to other applications through our service apps, where I can actually go ahead and look at how the different categories, or how I could categorize this. I can also see the different tickets around that. And also, see any of the other information that I would want.
Hey, Todd, there is a question out in the Q&A area.
Yeah, let's, did somebody just want to ask it or want me to go read it?
I think everyone's unmuted. If you want to just read it for now, we can mute everyone, unmute everyone when we wrap for Q&A at the end.
Yeah, so Cheryl has a task object. Are you using a child ticket as a task, or does Evie have something like a task object? Hey, Greg, can you answer that real quickly?
Yeah, so we have the ability basically to use different work items or tasks and relate child records just the same as you would have in Cherwell. So from that perspective, sometimes it makes sense to keep it as a child service request or as a work item. So we can do either or.
Thanks, Greg. Also, as I start to look through this particular ticket, I can go ahead and assign it. And when I actually do an assign, it is going to ask me a couple of questions, right? What group do I want it to go to? Who do I want it to be for a support person? So I could go ahead and actually put a specific support person. And when I click on finish, it will actually bring me back into my ticket, where I could go ahead and start to associate a particular piece of equipment. Now here's where the fun actually really starts to happen, and I'm going to throw it over to a more senior SE here at EasyVista than I am, Everett Carnahan, who's a special guest. because he's going to actually take us through looking at a piece of equipment, reaching out to it with the EasyVista Reach product, and how you can remote control it and capture that log file for that. So go ahead and take it away, Everett.
Okay,
And
let me know
thank
if
you.
you, sure, certainly.
I can see
So,
it.
can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Okay, great. So what you're looking at is my demo environment of a ticket. So this is an incident that actually came over from an event. We have a solution called EV Observe, and EV Observe is our infrastructure monitoring solution, and it can create tickets within EasyVista Service Management. And in this case, it created an event, and that event triggered this incident. So this particular incident is, we can look at the details, and there are, let's go back over here to activity. There is an error that came, error 42, and we have some information on that. And that can also provide us information into our equipment field and our service fields as well. Now, as an agent, I'm working on this, and I want to go in now and interrogate this piece of equipment, this server. And so all I need to do is come up under the title, and you'll see this small wrench. This wrench can be put in other areas as well if you wish, but we have it right here out of box. You select that, and what it does is it pops open EV Reach, our solution that is a competitor to Baumgar's. Oh, they changed the name years ago. Beyond Trust.
Door should be open.
What's that? I'm sorry, Todd? Oh, must have been a faulty communication there, Todd. Anyway, so what we're looking at here now is the incident has popped up. So this is the EasyVista Reach console, and it will bring up the incident. There is a record of all of the key incidents in the panel called All Incidents under Incident Management, and it pops open the one that I am currently addressing, and it has the device linked, and when I select New Session, it will begin and start recording everything that I do. I can expand this list, and now all the functions I'm performing currently are done behind the scenes. The end user doesn't know I'm in there looking at his system. But if I do wish to at some point go and perform a standard remote control where the end user is prompted to participate, I can select remote control here. But a couple of the key features that are available in here is we can get detailed system information. We've got a diagram focused capability where you select the various parts and components of this particular server, and it will give you the details of that. For example, here's our CPU information. We want memory slot information. We can get that. We want video information and other bits of information. We can capture that and put that away. Also, we can come in here and start and stop services, but you'll see a lot of other things as well. You can run a program, but services, let's go to services. And for example, we can go search for a service and do print. We can start and stop the print spooler. We'll do a quick stop and then a quick start. We'll see now it has stopped. We'll do a restart. And these functions that we perform within here are then recorded. You'll see the recorded functions over here that we stopped the print spooler and we started the print spooler. Other areas, things we can do, we have the device manager access, we can change environment variables. We can send a pop-up message to the end user saying, hey, we're going to work on your device. Please don't be alarmed. There's also, if you wish to chat, you can chat with the individual. There are other functions like your standard CMD, your command. We can come in here and go IP config /all. Let's do a /all. Maybe if I type it properly. Get my fat fingers working here. Let's do IP/CONFIG/A. There we go. And it will record. Oh, that is just an example. I must be typing it wrong. Let's not belabor that. But it captures those and close that up. But it will record our IP config, what we did type, whether it was successful or not, but it captures that. And then various other actions and capabilities that you'll see from the control panel within your, if you were actually on the device itself, but this allows us to perform those functions. In addition, the solution allows you to run custom scripts. So for example, if this person if we need to install additional software, we can look at software packages that are available to install. So we could install the package that's available to us. In this case, it's Firefox. But also corrective software. If we need to apply patches, we can have those patches available to us and we can run and install these. So these are the functions that can be performed behind the scenes, but also EasyVista Reach allows you to have timed functions, such as we refer to those as process automations. Those process automations are many of those functions to share files, it allows you to check various things. So if something is missing, machine's missing at Adobe Acrobat Reader, for example, this one here, and it will check to see if it's missing, and then it will deliver that package. We could run it as a one-off right now, or we can have it on a schedule to go out and check those various things. Also, if it detects, well, let's see here, blacklisted apps, we could have blacklisted apps removed. So in addition, if there is a virus detected, we can go and have a patch applied for that, or just send out a blanket patch to all devices. So a lot of functionality within here that can be run on a scheduled basis to ensure that your systems are properly configured and properly protected. Now, let's go back to our incident. The one thing, when we close this session, when we close the session, this information is then taken and copied back over into our incident. So scroll down here and we can see that information is right here. We can see that information that is captured. And so we know exactly what the agent did. In addition, I'm going to pop in one other little feature that has been recently included, and that is, see, it's right here by the description field. We've enhanced our AI so that we can run a summarize function. You'll also see some other functions here to translate, rephrase. This might take a couple of seconds to do. Do a summarize. Oh, I don't have authorization to do that. Sorry, I didn't check that ahead of time to make sure I had authorization. What that will do is it'll give me a summary of my description fields and also all of these history fields to show me overall what was done. So the use case on that is I'm an agent, a level 2 or level 3 agent. This has been passed to me. I don't want to go read through all those history files. I can use the summarize feature that will give me a nice succinct summary of all the steps that were done in a pop-up window here. And once that window is up, I can save that, and then I can paste that somewhere else, or I can just use it for that momentary evaluation and summary of what has been done on this ticket so I can get up to speed very quickly. Anyway, so that is the integration capabilities between EasyVista Service Management and EasyVista Reach. Back to you, Todd.
Thank you very much for that, Everett. Any questions for Everett before we go back into the ITSM solution?
Hey,
I
Todd,
don't
do you
see
want to?
anything that's come in.
Yeah, go ahead, Rod.
Todd, do you want to just, at the top of the hour here, we can stay on if anyone has any individual questions or wants to drill down on something, correct? You're good doing that, Todd? Okay.
Yep, for a little bit, yep. So, so we can go ahead and add the equipment in, right, and remote control with it and actually get that nice log file. I love that function because I know for me, under that history, it would say something like fixed it. Right?
Good point. Good point.
Yeah, no. So now we get all of that information. But think about that. If you paste that summary back into the knowledge article, and your other technicians run into that same type of an issue, how easy would it be for them to go ahead, look at that summary and see what was actually done so that they could fix it very quickly themselves? Also, you'll notice that we actually have some wizards around the screen, right? So I can bubble wizards up to the top as I start to utilize them more and more, but then I also have a list of wizards all the way down the side. So if I were to actually, as a technician, go ahead and use my contextual app or my service app link into my weather for my monitoring tool, EV Observe, right? I could real quickly see that the ERP system, you know what, everything is running fine there. I had this maybe been Office 365, I can see that, you know what, we've seen some issues going on. Our status is actually rainy. So I may wanted to have opened a problem. But being that it's the ERP system is actually running well, I probably would troubleshoot this more as an individual type of a ticket. However, had I wanted to create a problem from this, I do have a wizard where I can go ahead and either link it to a problem or I can create a new problem. Same thing would be for link it to a change request or create a new change request. You know, I can do all sorts of different things based off of my wizards. Furthermore, we probably should have talked about this more in the service request area, but included in the platform itself is our EV Orchestrate. And our EV Orchestrate is actually a iPaaS solution that is included in the platform. Let's go ahead and I will log in here real quickly and I can take a look at the different integrations that I can actually do. So first thing I can do is drill down into my shared workflows. And let's go ahead and look at some Microsoft ones, right? So if you are utilizing Intune and you want to actually sync your assets into the CMDB, because we do have a full-blown CMDB inside of the solution, I can do that. So you can see what my workflow is. I'm going out and I'm grabbing that list and I'm putting those results into a table and I'm looping through, and then finally I'm going to write them to the end. But you're going to notice that if I needed to add things to this workflow or even create a new workflow, all of my connections that are available to me are over here on the left-hand side. So some of the popular ones, probably, well, let's go down. And probably Workday is a popular one, right? So here are all of the different functions that are capable inside of Workday. And then here are all of the individual calls that I can leverage through this iPaaS solution. So now I can have bidirectional integration with Workday through EasyVista Orchestrate to update or either the ITSM solution or even update Workday, right? So I can go ahead and do anything that I want to by building these workflows. These workflows are drag and drop, simply drag and drop them out onto the field. I can't do that because this is actually a running type of workflow. But if I was creating a new one, it would be just drag and drop and then click on them to see what's actually being done inside of those. If you do not see a connector on this left-hand side, we do offer a 2-week turnaround on building a new connector. So if you needed a connector built, 2 weeks, and we can have that connector built up, we'll update the list. Everybody would then have access to that connector. Obviously, that's a single tenant, but it would go into everybody's tenant on the next release cycle. So you can definitely leverage these workflows from inside of the ITSM solution. So even if I wanted to utilize something like this during you know, any workflow, I can definitely leverage that and call out to that. It's just a high level on our EV Orchestrate, kind of ventures away from ITSM, but important in my opinion. Also, if we come back in and in this particular ticket, if I wanted to add a piece of equipment for Emma, I can simply click on Emma and let's see here, what did I have the ERP system. So I can actually go into the CMDB and search for equipment. If I wanted to, I could. If I would have actually categorized this, let's go ahead and create a new ticket. And we will go ahead and make it for Emma again. And we will recategorize it as a hardware workstation and PC problems. And we'll go ahead and assign it. And now it's going to actually ask me to put in the affected piece of equipment. It actually gives me the warranty information on that equipment because it can look through the CMDB, tell me that it's still under warranty. Go on to my next screen. Is this going to be a repair or a replace? Let's go ahead and just do an intervention. Go to the next screen. I can schedule it or just drop it into a queue. And now you'll see that I actually have that linked in piece of equipment. I can always come out here and look at that piece of equipment in the CMDB where I can see all of the information around that particular piece of equipment. Financial data, operational information, processor information if I have it inside of here. And then I can see the different licenses, the different software that are actually on it, the incidents that were created against it, service requests, and then any of the other actions that have been taken against that particular piece of equipment. Now the beauty is inside of the EasyVista solution, right? Everything links together, so I could have created a problem and then a change, and I can link them all together so that when I resolve the change, it's going to resolve the problem, and resolve the incidents. Fully supports surveys inside of the solution. We do have a discovery product. We will be adding down the road a data dependency mapping to that discovery solution. And everything that we've talked about today is included with, Rod, it's the enterprise
Bundle, we call it.
bundle.
Yes,
Yeah.
correct.
So, yeah, there are no, hey, if you want the iPass solution, you have to pay extra for it. And if you want the chat, the virtual agent, you have to pay extra for it.
Or like reporting on some vendors, Todd, or HR. Yep. Yeah, they charge you for all that. We don't do that. When I work for other vendors, I'd have quotes sometimes that were 5 or 6 pages long because of all the product SKUs they had. Confusing to us as a vendor and confusing to you as a customer. And that's part of the customer-centric culture here at EasyVista. We include everything in the platform. So Laura, we're getting towards the top of the hour. Do you kind of want to wrap up here? I mean, we're happy to do any follow-up demos. If anyone wants to drill down like on asset management, happy to do that. We even have some pre-recorded demos of drilling down on like asset management or HR or things like that. But we also can stay on here too and keep going if anyone wants to drill down on something here specifically. Anything to add there, Laura?
Yeah, let's leave it open for the next few minutes. So this would be considered final call for questions. If you've got them, hand them in now. And as Rod mentioned, as a follow-up, if you'd like a second follow-up presentation for your team or to specifically drill down into anything, let us know. We'll be sending out the recording of today's session so you can reply back there. There's a book a meeting invite in my link you're welcome to use to schedule some more time to talk with our team. And if you want a technical conversation with our consulting team about Cherwell versus EasyVista, what's available to you, how are they similar, how they're different, we're happy to do that as well. So I'm not seeing any questions rolling in. I think that'll probably conclude today's presentation. I don't see anyone in the process of typing. All right, so with that, why don't we go ahead and end today's session? If you'd like any follow-on conversations, please let us know. I'd like to thank you for joining us today, and I hope it was very insightful, and I hope you'll give EasyVista a good look for your replacement of Cherwell in the year ahead here. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.
Have a great day.